Carlos in Wisconsin says Christianity is not a negative to the world, just Juno-Christianity. I don't know what Juno-Christianity is. Is it, do you know what I'm talking about? Ha ha ha, I'm funny. All right, go on. What's Juno-Christianity?
Oh, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. No, so basically I said Judeo-Christianity.
I think is really here. Got it. Yeah, okay. I thought you meant Juno, like the place. Judeo-Christianity.
Oh, no.
So what even is Judeo-Christianity separate from Christianity? Because personally, I think Judeo-Christianity is kind of the concept is kind of a myth. There's no real, it's just something to try and get Jews to vote Republican.
Right, but I think because of that, they have a large influence over, our politics right now. I mean, kind of from the bottom to the top, and that's the Jews.
So basically, your perspective here is that
the Israeli government. I guess the Israeli government.
So Christianity is not the problem, but the way the Jews are using the Christians is what you think is the problem?
I mean, and it could go the other way around as well, but I think politically, yeah, that's the issue. I mean, it just doesn't really line up with the core Christian values, which I guess we agree on that would be kind of a hoax in the premise of Judeo-Christianity.
So do you think Donald Trump is a Christian?
Maybe, but he's definitely owned by not Christians.
Right. And so what's your evidence for any of this?
Well, I mean, I think that's the whole reason he got elected this round in the first place, is the backing by the Zionist lobby.
Okay, what's your evidence that the Zionist lobby is just one lobby, and he barely talked about Israel, and that was not what most people voted on who voted for him?
Right.
We know that plenty from polling. So what evidence do you actually have that the Jews orchestrated Donald Trump's coming to power? The Democrats are Zionists too, so it doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, the financial backing from people like Mira Madelson, things like that that's just number one. But it was a bait and switch on his.
So rich Mormons also back Donald Trump. Are the Mormons responsible? Is your example that there are individuals who are rich, who are Jewish, who backed him, therefore Jews are controlling the country?
But Mormons, but they don't have the same juice. I mean, rich Mormons don't have the same juice at all. And he bait and switched his own base with
the Mormon church has way more concentrated cash than almost any religion. They literally compete on the level of Catholicism for financial resources. So I don't know what you mean. They don't have
I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't get banned off TikTok for making an anti-Mormon post.
California successfully in 2008 or 9 ended up going back on gay marriage because of the Mormon church's influence. So I don't know what you mean by they don't even have influence when they were able to take liberal California and bend it to their need.
Maybe they do have political influence, but not on the level of the Zionist lobby.
And yet, if you go and you look at Project 2025, it does not help the Jews. It does help the fundamentalist Christians a lot, and actually would arguably be bad for the Jews in the long term. And when you look at the people Donald Trump has surrounded himself with, his vice president wrote the foreword for the book for that Christian nationalist wet dream. Everything that you say falls apart as soon as I just say, what is your evidence besides identifying individuals who are Jewish? The vice president is not Jewish.
No, but he's Jewish back. I mean, Peter Thiel is literally, his big daddy, and he's absolutely owned and controlled by Israel.
And he's also Christian backed.
I mean, maybe for
the reason why Christians love Israel is they like the idea. The reason why Christians like Israel is because Israel is important to their second coming, and they like the idea of a group of people they don't actually morally care about keeping the place clean for the second coming because they don't want to be over there preserving it against the Arabs. They like the idea of Jews being the ones in danger from the Arab world if the Arabs decide they want to take it back because of their own xenophobia and Islamophobia. They are much more content to see Jews and Israelis fight that war than themselves.
I mean, I think that's a portion of it, but I think 21st century right now, I think it's because they have blackmail and probably the majority of our political leaders. I think that's more the reason why we walk in step with them.
Dude, okay. if you're going to come on and just be a Nazi, at least
that's not being a Nazi.
it. Yeah, no, you're fully being a Nazi right now.
That's not being a. I mean, you can't tell me that the whole Epstein, conglomerate wasn't backed by Israel. I mean, every single point of it points to that. So who do you think he was working on behalf of?
What point? You're saying what point? Who did Epstein operate on behalf of? How is that a hard question for you? He operated on behalf of pedophiles.
Israeli pedophiles, backed by Robert Maxwell, backed by Lex Wexner, backed by all of these
and
Jewish
you just repeating it doesn't make it true. Like how you also you omit a lot of things too. Peter Thiel is half Jewish. His mother is of Jewish ethnicity.
I mean, but I wouldn't say solely, but largely in step with Palantir doing everything over in Gaza as far as the technology that's being used over there to commit crime.
Like the idea of Gazan genocide because they don't like Arabs, they don't like brown people. They
don't get me wrong.
Muslims.
I'm saying the Christians are doing evil deeds. I don't think.
What religion is Peter Thiel?
If you say he's Christian, I believe it, but I mean he's backed by Jews.
No. I mean,
I say Jews. I should say Israel.
Before you called in, proving you did your research, what did you already understand? You've already shown you don't know. So what religion is Peter Thiel before either of us Google it?
I'm gonna guess just because you're speaking the way of our Christian. If
right, so you don't actually know. You're trying to guess because you don't want to admit you didn't know. So you're coming in, you don't know anything about these people, but you think because his mother, who clearly didn't have as much influence, was only ethnically Jewish, not religiously Jewish, but he grew up in a Christian home with a Christian father and is himself Christian, but because of some little time. Hey, let me ask you this. I have a drop of Jew in me.
I think that's semantic, though.
Hey, no, Carlos. I'm partially Jewish. Am I a part of the Jewish lobby? Am I a part of the conspiracy to turn the whole to control the world from the Jews?
I couldn't say, but I mean, definitely if you were working for Palantir and doing all that stuff, I would say yes. But I mean, I don't have those notes in front of me either.
By association, I've got a drop of Jew in me. That doesn't do it for you? You fucking
Carlos,
what did I just say?
Wild.
What did I just say?
It's wild that you don't understand. It's wild that you don't hear how much
isn't the crux of the issue.
Okay,
I think that's nitpicking in semantics where you're saying that just because Peter, you know what I mean? Like just because he has Jew in him makes him evil. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the company is aligning himself with the deeds that they are doing. That is where the evil is, not because of a religion.
All right, great. Weirdly, I want to get away from
religion. I don't have a drop of Jewish religion in me. Ethnicity.
But that's kind of what I want to go to. Is I want to get away from like how much of a Nazi you're being, because it is crazy. But I want to actually it's okay. Whatever. What I want to talk about is you said that the Jews that are controlling the government are actually the problem, and that they're corrupting traditional Christian values. What in your mind are the values that are being corrupted by the secret cabal of Jews that run the world? And
that's not what I'm saying. Let me just clarify that, because even if they were being controlled by another government, them being, reluctant to do the bidding of another government makes them evil as well. So I'm not saying like it's the evil Jews and the other Christians are innocent. I'm just saying that, optically, I think Christianity is kind of being hijacked behind, a different. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not trying to sound like a Nazi.
Yeah, you're literally saying
you are sounding like a Nazi.
You're saying Christianity is being hijacked by. You're saying Christianity is being hijacked by Jews to make Christianity look bad. That's your argument.
I should clarify by the Israeli government, not Jews.
Okay.
I guess there's Jewish people on the street that have nothing to do with it.
Name one lobby that's more powerful than AIPAC.
I mean, I don't think I can. I think.
That's because you're an idiot. That's because you're a Nazi idiot. Because the most powerful lobby is Americans for Prosperity. Who runs Americans for Prosperity?
Out against Israel.
Who runs Americans for Prosperity, which probably is the most powerful conservative lobby in the U.S.? Who runs that?
I mean, you can tell me. I don't know. I'm not saying I know everything.
Yeah, no shit, you don't know because you haven't done basic research, and yet you're out here saying the most powerful lobby is AIPAC in Israel, even though it isn't. So you haven't even bothered to Google whether or not the facts that you are spewing here are correct. The Koch brothers, are behind Americans for Prosperity. Guess what? They're not. Fucking Jewish. You know who else is? The Heritage Foundation, a hugely Christian organization.
What I'm saying with me saying that there's the Jewish mob that runs the world. I'm saying right now, politically, I think Donald Trump is in both the debt, maybe financially, and just like, debt of actions to Israel. That's what I'm saying.
And you have no proof of it. The Heritage Foundation clearly is the main beneficiary of more of a beneficiary.
No good to bomb Iran, that's for sure. I don't think that.
Donald Trump would turn on Israel if Netanyahu just was mean to him. That's how little actually AIPAC matters.
I doubt that. I think we'd find out more than the little shred of Epstein files we have if he were to actually go toe with Netanyahu.
Carlos, is your actual political worldview that MAGA, that the Donald Trump administration would be significantly more moral and ethical if they weren't secretly being puppeteered by immoral, I'll call them Israeli government interests, and I won't use the other word.
I'll even side with you on that. I'll side with you on that probably not, but I'm saying the issues at hand are being influenced by a foreign government.
What would you do about it?
What would I do about it?
Yeah. Let's say you're correct.
I don't know. That's why I'm not the president. But
yeah, I think you know. I think you have an idea of what you wish would happen to these.
Think about
these
this. No, think about it this way. Let's say Donald Trump lost the election. Kamala Harris would have never been able to pull off all the bullshit he's done. He'd be able to pull it off because he has that MAGA backing. But if Kamala tried to do those things, no one would have it. If she wanted to go bomb Iran, no one would let her touch the button. It wouldn't happen.
What are you talking about? The Democrats are also super Zionist, and Biden was already doing. Haven't most of the deaths in Gaza happened under Biden? When Donald Trump got in 2016, when Donald Trump got in 2016, he saw the Yemenis genocide increase, but it was already present. So Obama wasn't doing
my
shit.
Point then that they own both the Democrats and the Republicans. That it's not just one.
They don't own both. The Democrats and the Republicans have the same values when it comes to the existence of Israel. But you just sitting there and going, because they're owned by the Jews, because you think there are Jewish donors. And by the way, you also don't get to go, oh, then you're making my point when you made the opposite point and not acknowledging that you were wrong first moments ago when you said that they wouldn't have been able to get away with whatever. Now, listen, I think it would have been different because I don't think they're owned. And I think Kamala Harris could at least be bullied into making better decisions and would be worried about losing her second term when this many people are against what's happening in Gaza. So I do think she wouldn't have operated the same, but it would have nothing to do with because they're bought. And the thing that you said was wrong was that they couldn't when they already were. By the way,
I can see that you couldn't do this wrong word, but I think it would have gone over less. Again?
I liked that call.
Adam from California was a theist Republican who was going to defend why Donald Trump is a good president. Please do call back because that'll be a refreshing call from this Nazi.
Yeah, Carlos, I'm
just
the
old Donald Trump would have been a great president.
What does that
mean? Before he hired as many Jews?
I mean, but you're taking it the wrong way. I'm not saying Jews as a whole. I'm saying the Jews around him. It's like not saying all blacks are bad, but I mean, if
so
you
like Jewish billionaires.
I just said blacks. Oh God.
Yeah.
So you just mean like Jewish billionaires with influence and power, like his son-in-law.
Well, not even all billionaires, not even all. I mean, there's just bad actors regardless of what group you're from.
Wait, so now you want to get down to
a lot of them in political power right now.
So now you're trying to retreat from the Jews and Israel own him to, no, it's just a couple Jews, which we already said at the beginning, there are going to be people politically who do support him, who happen to be Jewish, and yet you're trying to make it the Jewish lobby. Israel owns him. There's
but I
all
think
this
there's
blackmail.
more of them that are
where's your
Jewish
evidence that they have
around him?
Any blackmail? No, there isn't evidence of that because the people you already named weren't Jewish, like Peter Thiel. Where is your evidence? Where is your evidence that that the Jews have blackmail on Donald Trump, like you said earlier?
Oh, well, what do you mean? I think just the fact that the files haven't come out as a whole it means that they're being held over someone or somewhere.
So why is that a more reasonable explanation besides instead of the idea that the reason they haven't come out is because political figures like Donald Trump, and you could even say under Biden, Bill Clinton before, would have looked really bad if they came out unredacted. So they need time
right.
to
That's what
redact
I'm saying.
them.
Yes, they would have came out bad, but who put them in those situations? I mean, obviously, they put themselves in a situation.
Or for Clinton. Not the Jews.
Right.
Nothing to do with the Jews.
Well, okay.
Donald Trump doesn't want you to know he's probably a pedophile. So Donald Trump doesn't let the files out. The DNC, first of all, was legally restricted, by the way. Excuse me?
Hold on.
I think he very well might be.
Okay, hold on, Carlos. Carlos, hold on. That's crazy. You said that you're not debating the fact that Donald Trump very well might be a serial pedophile. And just like 10 minutes ago, you said, I think the old Donald Trump would have been a great president. The guy that you are not debating.
But you're saying that they're all pedophiles.
What do you mean?
We should basically pick our pedophile. You just said Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. You're basically saying it's pick your pedophile with the presidency. I mean,
no, it's not. Hasn't run for president any time that I legally could vote.
Kamala Harris is not a serial pedophile.
Well, maybe that's why she didn't get elected. No, but
okay, Carlos. What I want to know is the question of the day is our claim is that MAGA and Christianity are ruining America. Your claim is that it's not true Christianity because the Christianity that is in power right now is being corrupted by a cabal of bad actors who are of a particular ethnic identity. And my question is, assuming that's correct, it's not, but assuming that it is, what is the pure version of Christianity that you think would actually be good for the country if it were unencumbered by all of these bad Israeli puppeteers? What is the pure form of Christianity that would be good for the country?
Well, okay, so take it away from yes, the Christianity part, but I don't think we have seen, a country without that influence in probably as long as I've been alive. I'm 30.
Would you say the last time was 1920s Germany?
Okay. No, you're framing it wrong. You're making me sound fucked up. That's not the angle I'm taking. That's fucked up.
How do you feel? It sounds exactly like what you're saying. So was the Christianity of 1920s Germany superior to modern day American Christianity?
I think that Christianity is largely gone. I mean, even just
Carlos,
to go
was 1920s? Carlos, answer my question. Was 1920s Germany, was their form of Christianity superior to modern American Christianity?
No, absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying.
And yet they all had the exact same feelings you do. Not all, but a sizable chunk enough to commit the Holocaust. They had at their pulpit, they were preaching against the concept of the Jews getting into government and everything. So you're sitting here and saying the 20s Germany Christianity was worse. I just wish modern Christianity would recognize the same things they did back then and adjust to it.
Well, okay, you said that, not me, but I think you're making the parallel between the two, which I never did. But you're making the parallel between the two that the people were, the people were largely upset with the influence that those people had over the United States, which got them involved in wars. I mean, I get what you're saying, but you made that parallel, not me.
It was preached from the pulpit. Anti-Semitism for the centuries leading up, blaming Jews for. It would start with blaming Jews for the crucifixion of Jesus and go through that they are through. I can't believe you've gotten this far into your Jewish conspiracies and yet you're not aware of old Jewish propaganda.
What do you mean blaming for the crucifixion? I mean, that's in the Bible they did it, but I never said that was a big crux of my argument.
The Jews killed Jesus?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's in the what? What do you mean? Who else killed Jesus? But I'm not saying that's an issue of mine, but.
I think it is so funny that you are sitting here trying to not sound like a Nazi, and then you're like, yeah, but that Nazi point
Okay, wait. But who killed Jesus then?
Did the Jews?
No, I'm not saying the Jews. Okay, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose or not, but you're trying to make me sound fucked up, and that's not what I'm saying.
You literally said
the people who did murder, the people who did kill Jesus just so happen to be Jewish as well.
Who did kill Jesus?
Well, like,
who
gave the
condemned
order
Jesus
or what?
to death? What was the name of the guy who condemned Jesus to death?
Pontius Pilate.
Uh-huh.
Yep. It's been a long time since I was in a religion class, but yeah, Pontius Pilate.
And who was he?
I mean, like I said, a long time since I've been in a religion class, but pre-Jesus, though, everything was Judaism, correct?
No, completely not correct. Pontius Pilate, what religion was he?
No, I don't know. That's what I'm telling you.
What ethnicity was he?
I'm school me. I'm willing to be wrong.
How are you this? Like, here's the thing, guy. I know I'm imperfect because I find myself so often having to reach for this word redacted, because some part of me needs to become 16 years old and call you what this is sounding like to me. And it's so unfair to me that other people get to use these types of terms and just feel better about themselves. Pontius Pilate was, how do you not know that Pontius, the person who you said is Jewish, killed your Lord? How do you not know that Pontius Pilate is Roman?
Okay, but I mean, that's not.
Okay, no. Answer that question, and then we'll get to the religion.
The king of the Jews.
We'll get to the religion. We'll get to the religion after.
Right.
How did you not know that he was Roman?
Well, because I haven't been in a religion class in probably a decade. But what I'm saying is because he handed down the order.
Were the Romans?
School me. But the issue was he claimed to be the king of the Jews, which they did not believe, and they thought was blasphemous.
Who did? No, they believed there being a competing king. Pontius Pilate believed, and the Romans believed, the idea of there being an authority outside of their own was a problem. Jesus didn't get universal support amongst Jews because he was an apocalyptic preacher and a fraud. But that's even if he existed in the first place. He was put to death by Pontius Pilate.
Was a fraud? Whoa.
Wait, are you thinking that we believe Jesus actually raised from the dead? Like, we're Christians here? Is this your first time here? Did you think you were talking to Christians? I don't even accept that Jesus necessarily existed, let alone that he actually did all of that shit. Pontius Pilate was a Roman.
Opinion. I can respect it.
He was a Roman.
I definitely can respect the opinion.
You can respect our opinion that Jesus didn't walk on the sea and feed 1,000 people with one loaf of bread and one fish. You can respect our opinion that shit didn't happen. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for respecting our opinion.
I respect your opinion that Harry Potter didn't happen, Carlos. I respect that.
I respect it. Hey,
Carlos.
Carlos, if you think Gandalf wasn't a real guy, I respect it. That's kind of crazy. But
what religion were first century Romans?
Say that one more time.
What religion were first century Romans?
School me.
Pagans. Romans were pagans. Okay. So why, in your world, without ever done any of this very basic level research, do you have the audacity to say with confidence the Jews killed Jesus when you can't even name the ethnicity or the religion of the person who sentenced him to death?
Well, like I said, it's been a while since I've been in a religion class, but
so maybe you should have couched that before when you, instead of saying, well, that's in the Bible, the Jews killed Jesus, maybe you should have couched it with, shit, I think I remember somebody saying that, but I don't actually know who killed Jesus. Maybe you should have couched that you are saying things with ignorance instead of saying them with confidence as your and then your rebuttals back were like, wait, what? The Jews did it? As though this was common sense knowledge.
Well, wait, to backtrack though, I think it was you that brought up the Jews. You're like, oh, you think the Jews? I didn't bring that up.
Yes,
but I was confused about it.
You did then repeat it back multiple times with this tone of condescension. Like, are you not aware the Jews killed Jesus? I brought up that was an
I didn't bring that to the table. You did.
Carlos, I brought up that this is an anti-Semitic talking point, that's what the early, that's what German Christianity did preach. And I was listing off things which were anti-Semitic. And I started with, they started with the small things like the Jews killed Jesus. And you tried to pop in and go, wait, no, that shit's based though. That is correct.
No.
So that's not anti-Semitic because
that's
that
a good
is
thing.
true.
I didn't have any knowledge of that trope
Carlos,
because I'm not anti-Semitic for one.
I got to tell you, your goal to not seem like a Nazi, it's going poorly.
Okay, but you're framing it fucked up. But
yeah, what are your 14 favorite words?
All of that still doesn't, change any of what we're talking about in the political climate now.
Is your favorite thing about a piano that it has 88 keys?
What's that?
A piano.
All right.
Go ahead, Austin. Now I'm just.
I just think that
you just said, as you said,
politics.
Yeah, right. And we can't get you to talk about that either. I asked you the question. I said, okay, assuming your Nazi conspiracy theories are true, what would righteous Christianity look like, and what would good Christianity, uncorrupted Christianity, look like? And you couldn't answer that question. In fact, your answer to a lot of the questions on
not bombing, countries on behalf of other people. I think it would look like, a lot more. Again, but you're going to say it's only not America first and not meddling in, foreign wars.
Christianity is America first. That's a MAGA principle. That's not a Christian principle.
That's what it would look like politically.
He thought he could get away with sounding like a Nazi by saying,
if it was.
You're gonna say this sounds like I'm a Nazi, but I'm gonna say America first. It's not like that. That has a history in fascism.
Okay,
it's not
like
Hitler said Germany first, and Mussolini said Italy first. That's not like famously like where the fascists start. Okay, so fucking ultra nationalist.
Listen, Carlos. The thing is your answer to a lot of questions has been
being more kind, being less warmongering. That's all I'm saying.
It should look like that. It doesn't, though, in reality, and that's our point. So you can't call in and say, I think that Christianity. Yeah, you can't. First of all, you called into a show where we're talking about theism, and your answer to a lot of questions has been, it's been a long time since I've been in a religion class, so school me. And it's like, cool. Maybe be a little bit more studied up before calling into something like this. And the other thing is, when you say your whole argument is, I think Christianity should be nicer than it actually is. That's kind of our point, is like, wouldn't it be nice if Christianity didn't suck? But it does. And so your argument is, well, the reason why it sucks is it's being corrupted by some people. And that's why everyone's calling you a Nazi in the chat.
Hey, Carlos. Carlos, do you believe that the world would be better if we had less wars and shit? Do you wish we would head that way? Do you also hope for the second coming of Jesus Christ?
I mean, in theory, but again, I don't know how much.
Do you want Jesus Christ to return?
Real? If he's real, yeah.
Okay, so biblically, you want the Christian. You were right. So you want wars to end, and you want Jesus to come back. Yeah. Does it bother you that now I'm about to blow your mind because you don't know this is the case. Does it bother you that those two things are in conflict? That the Bible actually prophesies
there would be wars, is what you're saying?
No, first of all, once he comes back, the Great War begins. But actually, that preceding Jesus' return, preceding the end and the second coming, that there will be many wars and rumors of wars. So actually, we would not be in a world preparing for the second coming of Jesus if he's real, if all those wars went away. And by the way, this is a lot of the Christian excuse for these wars have to happen, but it's also a sign of the last days. So fret not that we keep getting into wars, because we got to, so Jesus can come back.
Oh, well, then that's bullshit. I don't agree with that at all. Even if that is a Christian talking point, I think that's bullshit.
You don't agree with the Bible?
I don't think that you know what Christianity is,
political
Carlos.
talking point. I was going to say, I've never heard anyone say that we need these wars for. I thought you meant that's a political talking point, because that would be fucked up.
I don't think you know what Christianity is, Carlos. I think you called into a show where we're saying Christianity's bad for the country, and you not only don't know what
Catholic school, went to Catholic high school, yeah.
And you don't know about the book of Revelation talking about wars and rumors of wars. You don't know about what the return of Jesus Christ is supposed to look like. You went to Catholic school and you don't know any of this?
Those talking points as far as the war is going on right now. I don't think that anyone's really spouting that. I think largely
it doesn't matter if you think they are or aren't. They are.
It is absolutely the way Christians comfort themselves over the wars, as well as other things having to do with Israel, Gaza specifically. They absolutely think it is a biblical right.
I always thought it was more of this. I was thinking more of a world police thing, we're the peacekeepers, X, Y, Z, which I think we're doing a bad
Maybe
job
it's because you're spending
of,
too much time on Reddits about what the Jews are doing and not enough time on the
Oh
conservative
my
Reddits
God,
about
you-
how they're justifying stuff.
No, you think of it? Yeah, no, not at all.
I was kidding. I don't think it's Reddit. I think it's 4chan.
No, I've neither of those.
Has your
But-
life ever been the same since kiwi farms went down?
What's that?
No, don't pretend you don't know. Or were you more of an
I swear to
8chan
God, I
boy?
don't know what that is.
You were more into
No, dude,
8chan.
No, I swear to God, I'm not. I don't know. I'm in none of it.
I think you're giving Carlos way too much credit.
Do you like drinking two
Not
7-Ups
even.
because next to each other it's 14?
Okay, I won't lie to you. I do know what the 88 joke was, but I shouldn't say I do what that was because you're like, oh no, you didn't know. But no,
I think you knew what the 88
interesting.
joke was,
fun.
and I think in a different room you could recite the 14 words, no problem.
No, but this was fun while I folded the laundry mat. I'll let you go.
The laundry man?
He's got to go do the laundry.
Oh,
He's
right,
got to
you
go
do the laundry.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
In fairness, I have never known a person to be able to repeat Nazi talking points while doing laundry. It's a very difficult procedure to like cross do.
Yeah. He just had to get his robes back from the cleaners. You know, there's a meeting tonight. So
I'm not a Nazi, but I'd like to do the rest of my speech in its original German.
that was a trip. That was a trip.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of like calling in and being like, no. Christianity is not the problem. The problem is Jewish influenced Christianity. And it's like, all right, okay, so then what is Christianity? It's like, I don't really know. To be honest, I don't really know. It's like, I've never really read the Bible. I don't know anything about Christianity. I don't know who killed Jesus. I don't know who Pontius Pilate is. I don't know what the Roman Empire is. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
The funny thing is the concept of Judeo-Christian, that is a conservative created concept, or at least popularized to work in reverse. It is, hey, Jews, we're really tired of you voting for liberals. So we would love it if you would come and we would just say like, oh, we want a country. Conservatism is about conserving Judeo-Christian values, even though like what Christians are going to illegalize eating shellfish. They might bring back slavery, but that's the only thing I can think that they might like from the Old Testament.
It's kind of like,
what am I saying?
It's kind of like the talking point. It's kind of like the talking point that MAGA love to parrot on the internet, where they're like, "Did you know that America is a constitutional republic and not a democracy?" And it's like they just like the word constitutional republic because it sounds more like Republicans, and democracy sounds more like Democrats. And like 90% of the time, it genuinely is that stupid. It's just like, so it's like the same like Judeo thing. It's like, if we say Judeo-Christianity, then stupid Jews will be like, oh, that sounds like us. Like that has the word Jew in it.
If like, you're against it, you're against me. Yeah. So the stupid thing about the one you're just talking about with the Republic, just ask them to define Republic right after. That has a 100% success rate for me so far, because in practice, politically, Republic and democracy are interchangeable. You could say there are some nuances in there, but as they've actually been used historically, and certainly by the founders, they were using the word Republic as a more popular term for just democracy. Instead of saying, to keep our democracy strong, they said Republic because it was more popular. They're absolutely synonyms. So if you just ask a person to define it without saying the word democracy, they're literally like, or just define it. They'll just be like, well, if you had a pub and you wanted to like lick it twice, the first time you would pub lick, the second time you would republic. That's the best they got.
No, but sometimes they will just straight up be like, it's a representative system of government where the public votes on representatives to represent their interests at the level of, legislation. And it's like, yes, you are describing the definition of the word democracy, but you just like the word republic more because it is the first part of the political party that you like more. And that's so stupid. that your brain.
Now, for those who follow my OnlyFans, I don't want to confuse you. When I first started on OnlyFans, I had pubes and then I got rid of them. And now I'm letting them back out again. So my OnlyFans is repubic, not republic. I don't have an OnlyFans. I just wanted to make the really, really dumb joke.